Today we're going to talk about being able to add and subtract fractions. This should be a review for you, but let's just make sure you know or remember what to do. You must have a common denominator when you add or subtract fractions. That means to be common, the two bottom numbers, the denominators, have to be the same. The easiest way to get a common denominator is simply multiply them together. So 2 times 3 is 6. Now you have to adjust your numerator. To go from 2 to 6 is times 3. 1 times 3 is 3. To go from 3 to 6 is times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Now that we have all the same thing, common denominator, we can now add. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. 6. But this 7, 6 is considered improper. You can't leave it that way. So I'm going to take the 7, 6, and I'm going to divide. 7 divided by 6. Top in, bottom out. 6 goes into 7 one time. That's 6 with 1 left over. This is a whole number 1. So 6 goes into 7 one whole time. This 1 becomes your new numerator, and you always keep the same denominator. So the whole number 1 goes here, the remainder goes here. But since you already had 3 whole numbers, you have one more whole number. Your final answer is 4 and 1/6. Let's try another one. Example 2. 3 and 3/4 minus 1 and 1/6. Again, the easiest thing to do is just to multiply these together. 6 times 4 is 24. Now, if you already know your common denominators and you're good with them, you would know that 12 would also be a common denominator. It would be the lowest common denominator. You can use either one. By using 24, it just means we may have to reduce at the end. Okay. Even though it's subtracting, I'm doing the exact same thing to start. I got a common denominator. Now I'm going to adjust my numerator like I did up here. To go from 4 to 24 is times 6. So 3 times 6 is 18. To go from 6 to 24 is times 4. So 1 times 4 is 4. I'm now going to subtract 18 minus 4. And I get 14. 24. 3 minus 1 is 2. But when you look at 14 24, I can see that they're both even. That means I need to reduce them by 2. I'm going to get 2 and 7/12. Now, if you'd used the 12 up here, if you knew that 4 and 6 common denominator was 12, it would have gotten 7/12 right here and you wouldn't have to reduce. But it would work either way. Let's do one more. Sometimes you may have a whole number and need to subtract a mixed number. Well, I can't subtract 1/3 if I don't have anything. So I'm going to borrow 1 from the 5 and make it a 4. Well, that 1 I borrowed as a whole number doesn't help me. So I'm going to change it into a fraction, but I want it to already have a common denominator. So I want it to already have a 3. Well, what goes over 3 that equals 1? 3 over 3. Now I can subtract. 3 minus 1 is 2/3. 4 minus 2 is 2. Your answer is 2 2/3.